Are you ready for some electrifying news about the Vancouver Canucks? A young star is making waves as he gets called up from the AHL in an emergency situation. With injuries piling up and the playoff race heating up, this could be the spark the Canucks need to ignite their offense. What does this mean for the team as they prepare to face off against the Columbus Blue Jackets? Stick around, because you won't want to miss this update on a player who's already proven he can make an impact in his rookie season. If you're a true Canucks fan, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button to stay in the loop with all things Vancouver Canucks. The Vancouver Canucks made a significant move by calling up Max Sasson from the Abbotsford Canucks in an emergency situation. Now, as a passionate fan of the Canucks, I can't help but dive into what this means for our team moving forward. General Manager Patrick Allvin's decision comes at a critical juncture in the season, with injuries and illnesses affecting our roster. It leaves me wondering, how will Sasson fit into the lineup, especially with the Canucks gearing up for their matchup against the Columbus Blue Jackets? Sasson, who's been in the midst of his rookie season, made quite an impression during his initial stint with Vancouver. He debuted on November 23rd and immediately contributed with an assist in a thrilling 4-3 victory over the Ottawa Senators. The fact that he notched points in his first 2 NHL games showed us just how dynamic he could be. He played 24 games up until late January, accumulating 2 goals and 4 assists, which isn't staggering, but let's not overlook his solid plus-minus rating of +3. For a rookie getting just over 10 minutes of ice time a game, that's no small feat. And then there's his performance with Abbotsford. In 37 games, he recorded 9 goals and 17 assists. But what really stands out to me is that since February 23rd, he has been on fire, racking up 13 points in just 11 games. He's clearly found his groove and proved he can deliver offensively. This is the kind of momentum we need right now, especially as we fight for a playoff spot. The Canucks currently sit in 4th place in the Pacific Division, 5 points behind the Blues for the final wildcard spot in the Western Conference. The urgency is palpable. We can't afford to drop any more points, and bringing in a player like Sasson, who's been lighting it up in the AHL, might be just what we need. Do you think this was the best decision? Honestly, I'm torn. On one hand, I love the idea of promoting a player who's hot right now. On the other, throwing a rookie into the mix when we're already battling injuries is a risky play. Sasson's speed has always been one of his biggest assets, and we've seen how that can translate into offensive opportunities. From his time at Western Michigan University to now, he's shown he can be a solid offensive weapon. It's crucial for the Canucks to capitalize on this talent, especially with Connor Garland potentially sidelined due to an undisclosed injury. The Canucks' management clearly believes in Sasson, and this call-up might also be a signal to the rest of the team that they need to elevate their game. The pressure is on. Everyone needs to step up, especially those who have been inconsistent lately. If Sasson can make an impact, it could not only bolster our chances of making the playoffs, but also instill a sense of hope and excitement among the fans. What about the broader implications of this move? It's clear that the Canucks are still trying to find their identity this season. They're battling against the odds, and every decision made by the front office can either propel us into the postseason or leave us grasping for answers. For a team that has seen its fair share of struggles, this is a pivotal moment. If we can integrate Sasson effectively, and he continues to produce, we might just have a shot at turning this season around. And you, what do you think? I want to hear your opinions down below. Do you believe this is the right path for the Canucks? Are you optimistic about Sasson's potential contribution? Let's get the discussion rolling. The Vancouver Canucks have made a significant move by recalling Max Sasson from their AHL affiliate, Abbotsford, in an emergency situation. This is an interesting development, especially considering Sasson's potential impact for tonight's game against the Blue Jackets. If there are any last-minute absences, he could be the guy stepping onto the ice. However, if he doesn't play, he'll likely head back to the minors tomorrow. Right now, Vancouver's active roster sits at 26 players, and that's a sizable number. Sasson, at 24, finds himself summoned to the NHL for the 7th time this season. It's been almost 2 months since he last got the call, and it's worth noting that he was an undrafted player who the Canucks signed to a standard entry-level contract after an impressive stint at Western Michigan in 2023. That season, he really shone, finishing with a remarkable 15 goals and 27 assists for 42 points in just 38 games, and he had a stellar +20 plus-minus rating. Those numbers are hard to ignore. When we look at his transition to professional hockey, it's clear he adapted well to the AHL. Last season, he stood out with 42 points in 56 games, placing him 5th on the team in scoring. This year, while his offensive production has dipped slightly from 0.75 points per game to 0.70, he's still managed to contribute effectively with 9 goals and 17 assists in 37 games. It's important to note that even in the NHL, he's been a solid contributor. When called up, posting 2 goals and 4 assists in 24 games. His average ice time of about 10:06 per game shows he's getting a chance, and he's made the most of it. However, there are areas of concern. His face-off percentage is a glaring statistic, sitting at 41.9% after winning only 26 out of 62 draws. For a team looking to establish control in games, this is something that can't be overlooked. The Canucks need every advantage they can get, especially in tight matchups. But let's be honest, he's still a rookie finding his way, and that's part of the learning curve. Now the question arises, is this the right decision for the Canucks? I'm honestly torn. On one hand, you want to give young players like Sasson the opportunity to prove their worth on the big stage. On the other hand, are we potentially sacrificing the team's performance in the short term? The Canucks are in a position where every point counts, and while Sasson has shown promise, it's risky to rely on a player still finding his footing in the NHL. Looking ahead, Sasson will be a restricted free agent this summer, and the Canucks are obligated to give him a qualifying offer of $813,750. If he continues to develop, there's a chance he could become a valuable depth player for the team. But can he solidify his spot on the roster? That remains to be seen. The way I see it, this recall is about more than just filling a roster spot. It's about the Canucks investing in their future, giving young talent a chance to grow, and perhaps finding hidden gems that can contribute to the team's long-term success. But with that comes the weight of expectations from fans who are yearning for a winning team. So let's open it up for discussion. And you, what do you think? Was recalling Sasson the best move for the Canucks right now? Or do you believe they should be looking elsewhere to strengthen the lineup? I want to hear your opinions down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on all things Vancouver Canucks. And be sure to activate that notification bell to get all the latest updates. Let's keep this conversation going, Canucks fans.